Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare
Hare Rama, Hare
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram
Hare Rama, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram Ram
Hare
Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare
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 Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Rama, Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, my dear friends, devotees, please accept my humble obeisance. How is everyone?
Good, Prabhuji.
Good.
Good, Prabhuji.
Good, Prabhuji.
I'm so happy to see all of you. Let's see who all are present. Karina, Binayak, Pionto, Avani, Jashit, Anita, and Navya is also there. Very bold. Ishan, Sarkar, Sampada, Krishna, Vidhi, Biraj, Ayush, Isha, Lakshay, Athar. Some of your cameras are not on. Radesh, Ishan, Prapti, Haley, Ovi, and Sahas. Very bold. So, how is everyone? All good? Your break is coming to an end, I believe. Your winter New Year
Our
break.
break already ended around 6 days ago.
6 days ago.
Prabhuji, we're starting school tomorrow.
Yeah, same. Because there was a tropical storm for me, so that's why the buses couldn't go. Like the cars could go on the speed, but the buses couldn't because they would tumble over. So that's why the school was canceled and the school opens on Monday.
Okay, so most of you have already started or will start tomorrow. Anyone wants to share something from your break? Any special experience, any special learning, anything beyond normal routine you did or you explored or you learned? Any realizations? Anyone wants to share? Okay, Binayak wants to share. Okay, go ahead, please.
Prabhuji, I started learning Hindi so I can
learning.
communicate with more people.
Oh, how are you learning Hindi?
It's an app. We used it for Spanish. It's called Duolingo.
That's interesting. That's a good thing to learn more languages. It helps. You can preach in Hindi also now. Good. Anyone else wants to share? Good. Okay. Ishan wants to share. Please tell.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. We went to Miami for a satsang program.
Oh, you went to Miami. That's wonderful. How was it?
It was good.
It was good. Very nice. Oh, Prapti also wants to tell. Please tell.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. So today we went to a Rath Yatra in Miami, and we got to like pull the car, and then we had like prasad at a devotee's house.
Wow. So you celebrate Rath Yatra today. That's amazing. One who pulls the cart of Lord Jagannath pulls them in their heart, in his heart, right? Basically, pulling the cart means devotee pulls Krishna in his heart and Krishna pulls devotee in his heart. That's so beautiful. Okay, Isha.
We went to D-Land at a festival, and it was instead of one day, it was 3 days expanded to the 23 to the 25, and the main event was at the 25, and I did a dance performance, and I wish you were there, Prabhuji.
Wow, that's awesome. So I think all of you had a very nice time, right? Which I'm so happy. You did some spiritual things, you're learning some new skills, you're learning some new activities, and very nice. So happy. It's always try to make all your breaks, otherwise time flies fast, right? You know, your break is almost over or it's already over. How many of you felt it flew very fast, right? The 10 days or whatever, 7 days, it flies very fast, right? All of us feel that. So time is like that. But if you make good use of it by planning some things that, okay, I will go here, I'll spend time with my family, or this, I will learn this new skill, I will do this in my academics, I'll do this in my health, then you will feel very much accomplished. Right? How many of you felt that? If you plan and you execute, you feel accomplished at the end. Right? It happens. Good. Okay, so let's start for today. We'll start with some verses. Anyone learned any new verse between today and the previous class? Any new verse, anything new you learned? Any new verse? I think some of you did learn the Shashvatara Stotra 1 or 2 verse. Okay, Vedayi, anyone else learned any new verse? Okay, so only one hand is up. All hands should be up because this was given to you, right? And you had 10 days, and that to your break time, correct? So is it an unreasonable expectation to say that you would have easily learned one verse in your break time? Am I unreasonable in saying that? How many of you think that it was quite simple to learn one verse in 10 days of break time, right? Okay, now I want to know from all of you, please tell me how much time approximately you think. It could be different for different. If a task is given to you and the task is to memorize one verse, okay, not 100 verses, how much time it takes for you approximately to learn to do that activity, that homework, that spiritual task, that you have to learn one verse, which is like simple one verse from the Shashvatara Stotra. You reply in the chat box, please, how much time it will take for you to do that. Okay, so most of you have started responding. 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Some are saying one day, which is fine. The first go may take 15, 20 minutes. The next time you revise it, you may have to see a little bit, right? The next time, just a one word, right? So let's say, even if it takes a day, but it's not that you're investing 24 hours to, right? You may have to do multiple revisions, but the total time would not be more than 1 hour, correct? Or 30 minutes. You may have to do revisions, like you saw in the morning, 5 minutes, you saw in the afternoon, 5-10 minutes, you saw in the evening, then it's pretty much done, correct? Is that a fair understanding? Okay, now you give me reason, a good reason why you didn't do, honestly, okay? Let's be very, very honest, why you didn't do it. If you had 10 days and I asked you, whether you put it in the chat box, now you honestly tell me why, what was the reason you didn't do it? For those who have not done, for those who have done, that's great. They, you know. Okay. I will not say who is typing what, but I'm just trying to capture the essence, right? Some of you are giving reasons to external factors, that I was out, someone came at my home, or this or that. That's not a strong reason, because even if you go out, you eat food, right? You sleep, right? So spending, even if you're traveling in the plane or car or whatever medium, you can still take out 5 minutes, right? Correct? You can still take out time, 5-10 minutes. So, but those who give a reason for their own, some of you said my own negligence, my own lack of effort, I forgot, or whatever reason, at least that's you're accepting that the problem is not outside. The problem is I have to improve, right? That's a very good understanding. And then my dear friends, you are my best friends. You know, my objective is not to scold anyone. My objective is to help you. Okay, and I hope you will take this in a very positive way. And my objective is to not, and therefore I don't even say who said what, because we're talking about the principles. We're not talking about an individual, right? So we're talking about the principles, and today we'll cover some lessons from Mahabharata, which talks about the same principle, right? And we'll learn some lessons from Dhritarashtra, and we'll learn some lessons from Duryodhana. We'll learn some lessons from Sanjaya, some lessons which I have been hearing from His Holiness Bhakti Rasamrit Swami Maharaj. We'll try to take some lessons which will help us to improve. And it perfectly ties to this conversation. But when I say you are my teachers, when I say you are my friends, I really mean it. And in no way I want to put anyone down, because I really value all of you, and you are my best well-wishers, you are my best friends, and I really mean it. So I hope you are all good, right? Is everyone positive and not feeling offended, right? Because I didn't even take any names also, right? We're talking about principles, okay? But let's start with a few verses. So maybe whoever has learned Vedi can please recite, and if anyone else also has learned, can also recite. Let's do it. Yeah, please.
Hare Krishna. Nindasya yajna videraha shruti jatam Sataya hridaya darshita pasugatam Keshavadrita bhuta sharira Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare.
Hare
Krishna.
Bol. Very nice. Very good. Yes, Navya.
Well, I'm doing the first one. Pralaya pradhan jal ditivan karm. Papiji, I forgot.
I'll share the screen, okay? So you can at least try, but at least you try genuinely. Go ahead. I can repeat from here.
Pralaya padoni jaleditvan asivedam. Pralaya payoti jaleditvan asivedam.
Vihita vahetra charetra amakhedam.
Vihita Vihitra-caritāmṛtam Keshava-divita-mina Sharira Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai
Jagadisha Hare. Very nice. Anyone else also wants to recite who tried but somehow not 100% sure? You can see and recite. Those who tried, yes, Biraj, which one you want to recite?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I also learned the first one.
Please go ahead.
Yeah. Hare Krishna. Pralaya payoti jale dritavanasi vedam vihita vahitra charitram keshavadrita minas prira jai jagadisha hare jai jagadisha hare.
Very bold. You know, this is about the fish incarnation of the Lord, right? So what happened? When there was a turbulent, all the Vedas were about to be destroyed, and there was a turbulent, like the water levels were rising. So Lord Krishna, Keshava Dhrita, right? This line is common, right? The last line. And this is the word, which incarnation he took. Meena means fish. Meena Sharira, Meena Rupa, Jai Jagadisha Hare. I offer my obeisance to that Supreme Lord who protected the Vedas and tied the boat on his like, what do you call, like, hood. So he usually acted as a boat in the form of a giant fish to give protection to the Vedas and the sadhus, which had become immersed in the turbulent sea of devastation. Very bold. Yes, Mishti?
Li janeva nadhane kalasyasi karavalam dhumaketum eva akimapi karalam keshavadhirta kalakishaira jaya jagadisha hare jaya jagadisha hare jaya jagadisha hare.
Very bold, very nice. This is about the Kalki incarnation, which will come about 20 at the end of Kali Yuga. How much time would that be? Can anyone tell? If Kalki would come at the end of Kali Yuga, please type in your response. Approximately how many years later he is going to come? Approximately. Please type in your response. At the end of Kali Yuga means approximately what, like 5 years later, 100 years later, 20 years later? What's that going to be? Someone is typing 20, someone is typing 300. The Kali Yuga duration is 4 lakh or 430,000 years, right? 432 to be approximately precise. So end of Kali Yuga means at least 400,000 years later. We don't know specifically. It will be like, it's like end phase. It's not like the precise last year of Kali Yuga, but end means approximately the end. It could be Kali Yuga has already passed 5,000 years, 427,000 years are pending. So at least approximately we can say 400,000 years later, right? Did everyone get that? Okay. Let's start with the story. Did I stop sharing my screen? Okay. Let's start with the story. Anyone's got some reflections while you were doing? I saw a lot of you posted nice homeworks. I want to hear from you. You had any reflections while doing your homework? Anything you learned? Anything like was like, oh, I didn't realize this before, but while you were introspecting, while you were doing, yes, Avani, want to share something?
So when I was writing, you know how based on our last class it was tit for tat versus tolerate that. When I was writing, I thought to myself, I was like, I've done a lot for tit for tat. Like like whenever, like, let's say Vedhi says something like really mean to me, I'd say something very mean to her back, or like, I don't know, if she hit me, I'd hit her back, stuff like that. And I realized, oh, I should probably tolerate that, you know? So I guess I've been trying to work on that more.
Very good. That's a great realization and a great reflection. And that's the purpose of the class. The purpose of the class is not to put information in your head or in our head, right? What's the main purpose of the class? To have more verses here, to have more stories here, right? No. The purpose is to put in our head, through the medium of our ears, and then through the head it comes to our heart. And then a churning happens. Oh, as Avni said, yes, I'm doing that. I think I need to improve on myself. I think I have a lot to improve on. That's called the churning of the heart, and the churning will lead to transformation of heart. Information without transformation, what's the use of it? It's just good for proving to the world, hey, I know more stories, or I know more verses. What's a good use of it if it's not causing a transformation, right? You agree with that? So today you are hearing, tomorrow you will be sharing with others. You'll be all sharing as teachers, as spiritual teachers, in whatever way. Always remember, the information is of no good use until it causes. Who's going to complete that? Can everyone complete it in the chat box? And then I think after that, maybe Vinita wants to share something. A change, a transformation. Yes, absolutely. Yes, Vinita, what's on your mind?
Hare Krishna. So while I was writing my essay, it made me realize how easily annoyed I get at people without like realizing what their backstory might be or why they do what they do. So it just made me realize that I need to tolerate what people do sometimes because I don't know what the full story is.
That's an excellent story or excellent realization. And it reminds me of a very nice story, which perfectly fits in this context. Shall I share that with everyone? So one time, a father was going in train, and he had 5 kids, right? He was traveling in a train, and 5 kids were there along with him. And you know how sometimes, and like there were 5 kids means different age groups. One was 2 years, one was 4 years, one was, 7, 10, and 12. So there were different age groups. That's how things work, And the father was quite stressed, and the kids were like causing havoc. It's a public place, right? Train means a public transport. I hope everyone has traveled in train at some point, right? If not, maybe we can plan sometime. Especially in India, it's a little more crazy. But anyways, the point is, it's a public transport, and we are supposed to live or at least behave in a cultured manner, right? Because it's not our private room, no. But the kids were causing havoc. Havoc means someone is shouting, someone is crying, someone is playing and jumping over the seats, and someone is, like it was crazy, right? Everything was crazy. The father is somehow very, very depressed. Somehow he's, don't know, like he is like, there's a word called, what's a word for that? Oblivious. Everyone knows this word, oblivious? What does that mean? Who will tell? Who knows the meaning for oblivious? Yes, Lakshay?
I think it means like that you're not well mannered, and it's like obvious to the people around you that you're not like acting well.
It's not about manners. The last part seemed more or less okay, but not about manners. Yes, who else was going to try? Ishan, Sarkar?
I think it's when like you're not concerned
Mhm.
about your surroundings.
Yeah, yeah. It's like, you know, I don't really care, like, or it's like you're not aware or you're not concerned, or you are seeing it but not taking any action about it, just like in your own world, right? So he was in his own world pretty much. And then other people, were they getting disturbed? What do you think? Because of all this thing going on, were they getting disturbed? They were fellow passengers. Certainly they were getting disturbed. And one guy, one big guy, now was about to gives a big reaction to this father, because he would see that these are his kids. Now, if you were in that position as a fellow passenger, tell me honestly, how would you have reacted, right? Type in, please type in. I want to hear from everyone. In a few words, you are seeing this mess going around. You're seeing the father is pretty much oblivious or not really concerned. And you happen to just board the train and take your seat, and you see this mess going around. Someone is jumping, someone is shouting, someone is eating and throwing, stuff around. Okay, someone is saying that he'll tell the kids to calm down. He'll tell the father to watch for kids. Would you get mad? Right? It's been like 30 minutes. Right? Imagine the situation, right? Someone is saying you'll just mind your own business. That's a good thing as well, right? You'll get a little bit annoyed or but this guy, at least you had some like thing to help to or to tell the father, hey, take care of your stuff, right? Pretty much, right? It's your duty, it's your responsibility to take care of these kids, correct? Right? More or less everyone says that. So now I'll tell you something which you didn't know. This guy, the new guy whose role you were playing, got really mad and said, hey sir, do you have any manners? Your kids are jumping around, your kids are causing so much tantrums, and your kids are throwing things around and throwing trash around and eating stuff and spoiling, other people. Why don't you better do something about it? In a tough voice, he said that. And this father, assembled the kids. First he said, dear sir, I'm very sorry. I'll do something. And this father who was oblivious, this father who was very sad, was a little bit depressed. And his father said, assemble the kids, hey, my children, just now we have come from the funeral of your mother. You want me to die also? Now you think, right? Now you are that role of that passenger. Did your heart, did your emotion completely change? Right? Did you see what was missing? We didn't know the situation. So before jumping to conclusion, we should have, taken some, is there something I can help you, my dear sir? If you would have known this situation, right? I know you must be going through a tough time. It's so tough that so their whole emotions change. So there's a lecture by His Grace Chaitanya Mahāprabhu says we should never jump to conclusions without understanding the whole situation, right? That's a worst jump, to judge someone or to, make judgments or because we don't know a lot of things. So, right? Does that make sense? Is it clear? Okay. One more story with some lessons. And this story is about Sanjay. Everyone knows Sanjay? Who all knows Sanjay?
I don't know, Sanjay.
Okay, some of you know. Okay, Sampada will tell. Everyone has to speak something. Please try to raise your hand, because some of your, even electronic hands, if your cameras are off, you have to speak something. Please engage, especially those who have not spoken anything. Yes, please tell.
Hare Krishna. Sanjay was the disciple of Vedvyas, and he also told the whole Bhagavad Gita to Dhritarashtra because of the divine powers he had received from Vedvyas.
Very nice. Excellent. So in short, he was like a assistant. He was like a confidential person for Dhritarashtra. And he was very powerful, a great devotee of Lord Krishna, most importantly. And therefore, he had divine powers, right? He could see Bhagavad Gita was spoken at which state or which part of the world. Who knows the answer? Please type in. Where was Bhagavad Gita spoken? Which city, which country, which... Okay, the answer is Kurukshetra. And that is in the current state called Haryana. Okay. Now, where was Dhritarashtra at that point? Anyone knows this? While was he? The battle was happening at Kurukshetra, right? Dharmashetre Kurukshetri, that's the first verse of Gita. So at Kurukshetra, the battle was being fought. Where was Dhritarashtra? Was he present in the battle? Where was he? Okay, please type in. I want to see everyone. Yeah, type in. In his kingdom, it's palace, that's fine, but I'm looking for the place. Yeah, I know it was in this kingdom. But where is that place? Which city was that? That's Hastinapur or Indraprastha, and that's currently the Delhi area. Okay. So that's near Delhi, or let's assume Delhi. Now, are Delhi and Kurukshetra close by? Does anyone know how far they are? Type in if you know the answer. Approximately how far are they? Like 10 miles, 20 miles, 1,000 miles? How far they are approximately? Or they're just like neighboring towns? Someone is guessing 2,000 miles. Not from you, both. I'm talking from their distance between the two cities. Delhi and Kurukshetra. It's about 100 miles at least, approximately. Let's put it this way. 100 miles. Yeah, don't use Google and all. Someone is typing the exact. I hope not using Google or Google directions. I know you're quite smart kids and you have smart devices to get this information, but it's fine. So in short, my point is they were quite far. Can you see? Can any one of you see? Can any one of us see what's going on 100 miles away? What to speak of 100 miles? Can you tell if your father or mother is in the next room or upstairs or downstairs? What are they doing at this moment exactly? Right? If your brother or sister or if your neighbor, what is your neighbor doing right now? Can anyone tell? But just imagine the divine powers blessed by Vedvyas, who is also Krishna. That Sanjay could see the live telecast, exactly what was happening. And what was, can anyone tell one verse spoken by Sanjay in Bhagavad Gita? Any one verse? Does anyone know that? Okay, let's raise your hand if you know a verse spoken by Sanjay in the Bhagavad Gita. Krishna, please tell.
Prabhuji, I think it's Pashche Tampanda Putranam Acharya Mahatim Chamam Vyudam Drupada Putrena Tavashashena Dhimata. 1.3.
Sorry, which verse?
1.3.
Was it spoken? 1.3 spoken by Sanjay?
I think so.
If you're not sure, then you tell that you're not sure.
I'm not sure, but I think it is Sanjay.
Who is sure about a verse? Okay, Misty, please tell.
This is Bhagavad Gita 1.2. Sanjaya Uvacha तुष्वातु पाण्डवानीकं व्यूढं दुर्योधनस्तदा आचार्यमुपसंगम्य राजा वचनमब्रवीत्.
Very nice. So actually all these, quite a few verses, Sanjay has spoken in the first chapter. But what, the one which is my all-time favorite is the end of the Bhagavad Gita. Sanjay speaks a few verses, and the last verse of Bhagavad Gita, who is going to tell that? Nisha?
Prabhuji, I wanted to tell another shlok.
From where?
From Bhagavad Gita, one said by Sanjaya.
Sanjay? Okay, I want to hear the last verse. Who can tell the last verse? Okay, Vinita, you tell.
Hare Krishna. Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna, Yatra Partha Dhanodhara, Tatra Shir Vijayo Buddhir, Dhruva Nitir Matir Mamam. Hare Krishna.
Excellent. Very nice. There are quite a few verses. In short, this whole telecast is Sanjay is speaking to Dhritarashtra. Sanjay was very, very nice person, very, very nice devotee, right? Very excellent person, and had all the good qualities. And actually, was Dhritarashtra good or bad? Up or down? Bad. Most of you are saying it's bad. But he has a lot of lessons also to teach us, so we can learn from him. So we'll try to analyze a little bit. Dhritarashtra was bad, yes, but there are a lot of. But Duryodhana, was he like worse or better than Dhritarashtra? Worse? Yeah, he was actually worse. There were multiple instances. Sanjay told, like when the Pandavas were in exile, right? You know the story? 13 years they were in exile. And Sanjay tells the situation that Pandavas are about to return. A lot of Pandavas did not do tit for tat, right? You may say, hey, they also fought the war, but actually they gave hundreds of attempts to the Kauravas to reconcile. So Sanjay came at one time and spoke to Dhritarashtra and others. Pandavas, they have dutifully, as per their words, led 13 years of exile. Now their turn has come back to return to the kingdom to them. It's the kingdom, they are the rightful recipients. And they are very powerful, Sanjay said. Duryodhana and team cannot face them. Dhritarashtra knew that. And because Pandavas had already defeated the Kauravas in the kingdom of Virat when they were in incognito. Therefore, they were always a little scared also, and they were spying on Pandavas' activities, right? When you're scared, you're spying on your enemy, right? One who's not scared, hey, Krishna is with me. Why do I worry about, right? They're fearless because victory is always with them. So, when Dhritarashtra was told about the situation of Pandavas, and most importantly, Krishna was with them. And Sanjay told that this person, which you might be thinking as an ordinary cowherd boy or as an ordinary person, he is Purna Purushottam Bhagavan. He has 6 opulences. Who knows that verse? 6 opulences. The verse I'm talking about, it starts with Aishwaryasya. Avani, please tell.
Aishwaryasya Samagrasya Viryasya Yashasa Shriya Jnana-vairagyoschaiva Shana Bhagavan
Iti Gana. Yes, all these qualities, Gana means group. All these qualities are present in the Supreme Lord. unlimited strength, unlimited power. He can do anything. Dhritarashtra, at that point, very special. Dhritarashtra was actually lamenting. He was lamenting for his own, and he got a little bit envy for those who have eyes. Why? You want to?
Dhritarashtra was blind.
Yes, he did not have eyes since birth. So we should not be envious of what we don't have. It could be a gadget, it could be a dress, it could be something, or someone. But at the same time, we should be grateful. But he was not envying so that he can fight the battle, right? He was envying so that because he cannot see the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Can you imagine? Right? There is a positive side about Dhritarashtra. He was envying because there's all these people have eyes and they can see Krishna. They can see his lotus face. They can see his lotus limbs. They're so fortunate. They're so blessed. They're so amazing. But I am blind. So I can't see Krishna, the Supreme Personality of God. Therefore, let's move on to what's...
Wasn't there a person who made Dhritarashtra go to the mountains and meditate?
Yes, that came later. Yeah, Vidura, that came later.
And then there was also the wife, but then they like died somehow.
Yeah, Gandhari was his wife, the mother of Kauravas. Yes. So did everyone like that point that he was not feeling bad because he could not fight or could not see his kids, or he was thinking that he could not see Krishna. So basically a change of heart was happening. Correct? But what, and he tried to tell this to Duryodhana also. Sanjay said, okay, is there any way? Sanjay told that if you fight this battle, there's only one outcome. And what's that one outcome? That your kids are going to die and Pandavas will be victorious. There is no second thoughts about it. It's 100% confirmed. I can tell you right now. There's no doubt. There is no like a tiny atomic fraction of doubt there. And it's not that Sanjay had told the same thing. Dronacharya, Bhishma also knew that. But Dhritarashtra, did Dhritarashtra want to? Sometimes it's mentioned, he tried to explain to Duryodhana. Duryodhana, why don't you do a peace alliance? Give them something. They're happy with a small piece of land. They don't want the entire world. Dhritarashtra was ruling at that time. Duryodhana was ruling the entire world. Can you imagine? They were the king of not particular city or governor of a state or anything like that, or not even a country or a continent. The whole world was under their jurisdiction. But think about the selfishness of Duryodhana. He said, I will not give even a tiny piece of land. I'll not give them one tiny city. Sanjay at that time said, okay, 50%, you take 50%, let them take. They're also your brothers and cousin brothers, right? We should not fight amongst brothers and sisters, right? Because we're all children of God. And especially when you know that your brother has Krishna on his side, and do you want to die or you want to give them the kingdom? What will naturally a sober person choose, right? If there is no life, what the hell is the kingdom going to do, right? Let's say you want something very, very badly. For someone, it could be money. For someone, it could be something. But your well-wisher tells, if you get that, you'll be sick for your life, or you'll have a major disease, or maybe you may not even live. Who's going to ask for it? Is anyone still going to ask for it? Right? No, it doesn't make logical sense. But Duryodhana said, even if the Supreme, even if Krishna is on their side, even if he's the Purna Purushottam Bhagwan, even if he's the controller of all controllers, even if he's the controller of the demigods, I am not going to change. That's what Duryodhana. But Dhritarashtra was a little bit better than them. Dhritarashtra wanted to change. Dhritarashtra knew it's kind of little bit that Krishna is God. Sometimes we know something, it's good for us, correct? We know it's the right thing to do. We know it will help me and my people. We still are not able to do that. How many of you have experienced that? It could be simple, like getting up in the morning, we know, right? It could be like the verse, right? It could be doing homework timely. It could be getting ready timely for the school. We know it's the right thing to do. We know. So, dear friends, we should learn from Dhritarashtra rather than saying, hey, he's the bad guy, he's the villain. I'm not much different, right? Because what's the quality here? He knew it's the right thing to do, but he still did not do. And what's the reason? Who's going to tell? What was the reason? Like, let's contrast it. Let's contrast it with a little bit. I was thinking, he could have easily said, Duryodhana, you better listen to me. Otherwise, you will no more be in this kingdom. You'll be the beggar. You'll be killed. Who did that when his father told him something to do and he tried to kill the son? The son didn't listen, right? And the father tried to kill the son. Any example? The father told him you have to do something. The son said, I won't do it. The father said, okay, better you die. Yes, Lakshay.
Maharaj and Hiranyakashipu.
Yes, the most famous story of Hiranyakashipu and Prahlad. Same thing happened. No, the situation is negative there. Like Hiranyakashipu is the bad guy. Prahlad is the good person. Now, the bad guy is telling him to follow something bad. That can be, that's the right thing. I'm not saying Prahlad did anything wrong. But Hiranyakashipu said, even if I have to kill my son, I'll do it. Right? And he did. He did try to, of course. Who can kill a devotee of Krishna? When Krishna, but we're contrasting here. Like, are you able to relate these two stories? Right? So if Duryodhana really wanted, he could have gotten rid of Duryodhana. And if Duryodhana would have, if the father would have been strong, then a bad example would not have been set up. Right? He had the powers to do so. Now you tell me, why didn't he take that action? Type in, please. That's a little bit thoughtful question. Take your time. Reply to me in the chat why Dhritarashtra could not do so. Yeah, everyone please try to reply why Dhritarashtra did not do so. Yeah, you're all so intelligent. I'm really impressed by your responses. He was attached. He was attached to his son. Yes, most of you responded very well. False attachment. Attachment to the wrong thing. Right? Attachment is very strong. And therefore, as Beyonce was pointing to that story, and when that attachment was cut off, right? That means the children were killed after the battle. He immediately left, right? And he later got the higher destination. It's mentioned. He did tapasya, and his wife followed him, and he got the higher destination because attachment was no more. If we don't voluntarily give up our attachments, which are bad for us, I'm not talking about good things. There are a lot of things which are not good for us. And that's called, the reason is called weakness of heart. The weakness of heart. It weakens our heart. Because of weakness of heart, in Sanskrit is called Hriday Dorbalyam. He could not do the right thing even after knowing the right thing. Information was here, but the heart was weak. The heart was attached to Duryodhana and people. And in his kingdom, Dhritarashtra, attached to kingdom. Rashtra means kingdom, nation. Is it interesting? Did you like the story so far? Then Sanjay said, better you live peacefully. And there's one more story here. And he gave the story to the whole assembly. There were two birds, right? It's been a while. I have not done any drawing. Let me do my silly drawings. You're able to see? The whiteboard? Okay, I'll try to draw something. There were two birds. Okay, just imagine there are two nice, hefty birds. A hunter had put a net, and there were grains, pieces here and there, right? The birds wanted the grains, right? Correct? The birds wanted the grains. So they came and started eating the grains. Guess what happened? They got caught, right? Very simple. That was hunter's plan. They got caught, right? The hunter was looking very focused. He was looking at them, and with the hunter's eyes were right on the birds, and he knew that's what birds are going to do. The hunter near the birds. So the bird said, well, we are pretty strong. The net is not that big. We can both fly together. We can carry this net and fly. Everyone on the same page, right? And they were strong. They were quite hefty. They were strong. And they started flying. The net was with them. And the hunter started to run after them. Now, you may wonder, can the birds are flying in the air and the hunter is on the land. Can the hunter catch them? No, there's no way. And the people started to laugh on the hunter. Hey, look at him. These birds are flying in the air. It's like you're trying to catch, like sometimes small children try to catch the airplane. Like it's crazy, right? You'll say like, they'll make fun. Okay, what this child doing? Is he think they can catch the airplane, right? The airplane is in the air. You are in the land. You can't catch. Maybe you can run a mile. You can run like, by that time they will have gone way further. How much will you run? But the hunter said, I know their nature. When they fly up, they're going to have an argument. Hey, why are you not flying properly? I'm doing most of the work. You're not putting enough energy. I'm better than you. You are not good. They started to have an argument, and guess what? They both came down. And the hunter caught them. So Sanjay said, if you live peacefully with your brothers, you'll have a kingdom and you'll have a life, right? But if not, then you'll be dead because Krishna is on their side. So this is a nice story about unity, my dear friends. The lessons is unity. You heard that stick story? The father gives a stick to the kids one at a time. The sticks break. You ever heard that story? Right? But okay, I'll tell you this very quick. The father, brings his children, at 5 kids, gives them a stick, one tiny stick. Let's imagine this is a stick. And says, hey, can you break this? Said, okay, I can break this. It's like the kid does tuck and it breaks. It was just nice, like a toothpick, imagine, like a toothpick. And now you could try this with a toothpick, or something like a thinner cylindrical object, wooden. Try with one, okay, you'll be able to break it. Try with an object, you can break one easily. Then you take 2, you might be able to break it. Then 3 will get much harder. Now put 10. Now you try your might, you won't be able to break it, right? Try it out as a small experiment. The lesson is, unity is strength. United we stand, divided we fall. Unity is very important. So when the kids are small, they live happily with brothers and sisters, right? Even if they have a little bit fights, they reconcile very fast. They reunite very fast. But as adults, sorry to say, this is going on in everywhere, India, US, Europe, wherever you go. As adults, they don't reconcile. They're ready to kill each other. They speak bad words. They're ready to take each other to the court for money, for attachments, right? You're aware of this little bit? For money, for property. Hey, I deserve more property. Hey, I am better than you. Hey, you are less. And then they end up suffering. They end up in problems. So let's talk about some, yes, Beyonce,
I just wanted to say, since it's called USA, United States of America, the only reason we're the most powerfulest country is because that we have 50 states united with each other. Like you said, unity equals to more strength.
Yeah, I'm not sure how United States is right now, because there is so much.
48 is in one chunk, and then the 2 islands are there. That's what happens.
Yeah, I'll not speak about political things, but I mean, the point is, forget about the country unity. Let's talk with the family, right? Because country is made up of small bits, right? So we cannot change things about country, but at least we can change things around our own group, right? Let's start with brothers and sisters, your own blood relationships, your own, circle of close people you are with. But okay, changing gears. What's the solution now for overcoming weakness of heart? Let's take some responses. How can we overcome weakness of heart? You all said that we have that area for improvement. Now I would like to know some solutions, because, right, we all have that area for improvement, right? We know something is right for us, but we still don't end up doing it. What's the solution? Think for a while and tell me some points. Who's going to tell? Jashit, Nishita, you're not spoken. Radesh, please, everyone should speak something, right? Ayush, Atar, Ovi, Rapti, Heli, Sahas. I've not heard anything from you guys. Okay. Anyone can think of some potential ways to improve this thing? Anyone? Raise your hand or tell me. You all agree it's an area for improvement? How many of you agree that at least that part? It's something we need to improve as an individual, right? That we know something. One very, very important point which is coming to my mind. To develop a strong why. Visualizing the outcome. Why I am doing this? Like, what will be the consequences of doing it? And what will be the consequences of not doing it? Let's say take a simple example of eating healthy food. Something which is not very palatable to the tongue. You don't like it, but your father or mother tells it's very healthy for the body. Has anyone heard that? Right? You don't like it well. It could be something, but did you not notice this? That the Zoom is able to recognize the hand gesture. I raise my hand and now my hand is up. I just realized it unknowingly. That's smart. Is it not? Is it working for you?
Mine is not working. I'm like raising my hand. It's not like coming up.
But you have to, there's a setting, you have to click recognize hand gestures. I think you have to activate that. Then only it will work.
Where?
In your reactions button. You have to raise your hand, not thumb. Okay, I think it works for the thumb also. See, everyone is trying. That's fun. I'm happy at least Sahas turned his camera on to do this. Good. See, I have to find new ways to trigger you.
Wait, so you were lying?
Huh? It's working or not?
No, wait a second. Was that just a trick? Or did it actually happen?
Oh,
It
I'm
actually
serious.
works.
Oh, mine doesn't work.
I've done it before, except that I don't have the setting right now for some reason.
Yeah, it's like my setting is not coming up.
Okay, figure out before next class. That's interesting.
I think it's something with my update. I think I didn't update.
Zoom did update today. Zoom did update today to change the logo, so I noticed that.
Okay, anyways, where was that story I was completing? Yeah. I was giving the example of eating healthy food versus not. Let's complete that, huh? You know it's the right thing, or at least the higher intelligence, the authority, your parent is telling you, your teacher is telling you. But still you don't want to eat because you don't like it. You don't like to eat it because the tongue doesn't like it, right? Right? Common scenario for most people, right? Now, you have to think about the consequences. If I don't eat it, I'll be unhealthy. If I eat it, I'll be healthy. Now, what would you want? You want to get diseased and sick and unhealthy, and you want to get healthy and stronger. Right? The answer is straightforward. No one is going to deny I want to get diseased and sick and unhealthy. Right? So when we strengthen our why, that helps. Now, this is your homework. Try to write something and discuss with your parents also. How can we overcome? One reason I gave you, we have less time, so you'll explore more reasons. How we can overcome this. The weakness of heart is when we know something which is right for us, we still don't do it. Share some examples from your life. Introspect, right? Introspect. Think about where it happens, why it happens, how you can improve it. Is that okay? Does that make sense? Okay, good. Sorry, a little over time, but let's take a pause and hear if you have anything to share or tell. And tit for tat, also there's one nice thing. When someone does, we discuss many stories. If someone says something harsh, rather than trying to say it back, you raise your standard. You increase your altitude. That means you grow yourself. Like someone says, hey, why are you always late? It's a tough thing, correct? It may, but rather than taking it this way, you take, I will grow my altitude. That means I'll always be on time. And this person becomes my teacher. It helps me to get better. Okay. Okay. Let's pause here. Anyone wants to tell? Next time we'll do Kahoot for these two classes. Let's take any thoughts, questions, concerns. Anyone wants to tell, ask, anything not clear, anything you have a question or a reflection? We'll just take for 2-3 minutes. Yes, Mishti, please tell.
Hare Kṛṣṇa Prabhuji. My question was from last time. So I was thinking about it, like I didn't understand why Jayadev Goswami, he told the king to reward the bandits. Like why didn't he tell the king, oh, these are bandits, so you should punish them?
That's a great question. Thank you for thoughtfully analyzing and introspecting that. This is the quality of great souls. You know, they want to, you know, especially Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also. The story of, you know, Jagai Madai, he could have easily killed. He wanted to kill. Everyone knows the story, right? They heard Nityaṁ Prabhu. Nityaṁ Prabhu and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu could not tolerate. He came with Sudarshan, Sudarshan, Sudarshan. And Nityaṁ Prabhu said, please don't kill them, right? Because you have come to kill the bad in the heart. If you try to kill chop off their head, then you have to kill practically everyone. So kill the enemy in their heart, kill the bad in their heart rather than the person. Hate the sin, not the sinner. So that's what, and sometimes, I'm not saying we have to follow that example. If a thief comes to our home and you happen to know he's a thief and he's disguised as a mendicant, let's say as a saint, and then you don't have to tell your father, oh, no, he's a nice person, please come, invite him, feed them nicely. And I'm not saying we have to follow that. You know? Don't take that to the other extreme. But at least you're analyzing, I'm trying to answer your question. You are sure that he's a thief dressed as a sadhu, right? Right? And then you don't have to tell your parents, oh, he's a great soul, please feed them, please give them nice charity. That's not what we have to follow, right? But the principle here is great souls sometimes do things which we may not be able to understand, correct? Because they have a higher, because they know past, present, and future actually. They know past, present, and future. We are not at that level. So we can't just imitate their activities blindly. So that's one reason. And then Jayadev Goswami wanted to, if he could have easily told, hey, and king trusted him very well. King Lakshman Sena trusted him like his own brother. If he said these are the mendicant, these are thieves and rogues, punish them in the jail or either give them, you know, death sentence, no questions asked, done, right? And if they would have done some interrogation, the thieves would have revealed who they are, right? That's what police does. Correct? But still, he did not do that. It's an extreme example just to tell the greatness of the great people and how Krishna is always on their side. Mother Earth was on their side, right? You know the story how Mother Earth opened up and took the thieves in. So we don't have to follow those examples, but at least understand the principle behind that, right? That he wanted to kill the bad and let Mother Earth and Krishna decide. Or let's put it this way, he also wanted to give them a chance, although after knowing, but still given a chance, if they could have, you know, confessed that, oh, we are thieves and, you know, we are sorry we made this mistake, but this great person still did so much for us. But rather, they plotted against him. Does that help?
Yes, Prabhuji, thank you.
Thank you. Very thoughtful question, Haribol. Anything else? Okay, so I hope all is well, and then good luck for your beginning of new year, I mean, it's not a new school, but your next whatever semester, quarter, whatever that is, or next phase of this year, academics and spiritual life. May this year bring a lot of joy, happiness, bhakti, devotion, academics in your lives, and bring wonderful divine qualities. So I wish you all a very happy, prosperous, healthy, Krishna conscious New Year as well. So we'll make a pause here, and thank you so much. Hare Krishna, Jai Shri Prabhupada, Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, bye.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.